There is nobody in the Dallas Cowboys locker room that makes more bold and colorful, funny, wise predictions than Micah Parsons, and he's done it again. Mike Fisher, your trusty and trusted reporter. This is the Fishbowl. That is the star. And on Thursday, the media was allowed to hang out with Big Mike and then to watch practice inside Ford Center. We've got all kinds of notes on that, both here on the Fish Report and at cowboyssi.com. And then to swing into the locker room for a visit with a handful of guys, including Micah Parsons. He's done it again. Bold and colorful and probably frightening for NFL defenses. Here's the big quote from Micah in terms of his usage and what defensive coordinator Dan Quinn and the staff are working on for 2023. We're doing a lot of special things. I don't want to give it away right now, but it's going to be a really cool year. I'm probably going to play like 8 positions this year. Now, 8 positions sounds slightly hyperbolic, but if we go back and count, you can squint and almost see it. Through his first 2 NFL seasons, the now odds-on favorite to win Defensive Player of the Year, yes, that's right, has played, without going in and like doing pro football focus studying, he's played all 3 linebacker positions. I think we can presume that. He's played defensive end over here. He's played defensive end over there. Has he ever lined up as a 3-technique pass rusher? I suppose so. I know he's done safety-like things, and I remember him literally lining up at cornerback once. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, something like that, kind of. So yeah, in a way, maybe 8 positions or so. But it's not really about the number, it's about the philosophy. More important than the number is the mindset here. And I'm really happy about this because it's something we preached, especially when the errant story came out about how Mike is moving to full-time defensive end. And I remember kind of perusing what he was saying, not hearing him say that at all. And then we saw the newspaper report it, and I thought somebody goofed up. Somebody either misunderstood the quote or got themselves misinformed, or if the quote and the information is right, the Cowboys are really goofing up because you have eliminated one of Micah Parsons' great strengths if you announce to the offense where he's going to line up. Not only he's a defensive end now, he's always going to be right there. That's foolish. And then, of course, come to find out that that's not the plan at all. And now we are a couple weeks later, and here's more and more details about the plan is actually quite the opposite of that. More Micah in more places, more unpredictability for the offense to try to decipher. McCarthy said that, by the way. He said that's what this whole conversation is about in terms of where he's going to line up. McCarthy quote, "It's important for us to stay focused on creating as many opportunities for him." I think the whole conversation of where he's going to line up is about that. From an offensive perspective, when you line up a premier player in the same spot, it's easy to apply help there. It's so basic and so obvious. And so I'm very glad that the Cowboys have grasped the obvious here. Again, Micah's versatility is not necessarily anything new. Here are some numbers. As a rookie, the linebacker, as we've come to call him, was billed as a linebacker. That was the original concept. Now, I know that the Cowboys coaching staff and Will McClay and his scouting staff, I know that they envisioned pass rusher being in there somewhere when they drafted him. But the original idea was he's going to line up at linebacker. And then as it unfolded, not only in the spring, but especially at training camp in the summer, they kept giving him stuff to do. I do remember at one point in Oxnard, I was talking to McCarthy, or I might have asked McCarthy this question, and he said, yeah, we got to back off a little bit. I mean, we're so excited to see all the things this guy does. Maybe we've overloaded him a little bit. But eventually, he swallowed it all up. And if you remember Micah talking about his rookie year, He said half the time I didn't really know what I was doing. I'm just a kid. I'm just going on instincts, and still worked out just fine. A finalist for Defensive Player of the Year as a rookie, and now last year finished second, and maybe now this year it's his turn. Now there will be one thing that gets in the way of that, and I'll get to that momentarily. But as a rookie, he lines up as a defensive lineman still 40% of the time, even though he's a quote linebacker. Last year, Cowboys line him up on the defensive line 80% of the time. Either way, the overall impact, 12th overall pick in the draft in 2021, dominates. And it's not always about sack numbers. In fact, going forward, it might be even less about sack numbers. Two-time All-Pro, has 26 and a half sacks in his 2 years. That's good for sixth most in the league. But this is going to be, as he says, I'm off the sack wave. I'm off the sack wave, meaning, I think, I'm not going to focus on, I don't care about the numbers as much as my individual numbers, as much as, can we get Tank a sack? Can we get Sam Williams a sack? Can we get Dante Fowler a sack? Can we get Dorrance Armstrong, Osa, Mozzie Smith, who I've got some OTA tales to tell you over the course of the weekend here. And can we get opportunities for a ball-hawking secondary led by the cornerbacks Trayvon Diggs and Stephon Gilmore? We know Diggs is a playmaker. We've seen it. We know he's a ball hawk. Watch Gilmore now, who over the course of his career has done that same thing about as well as anybody in football. So Parsons off the sack wave, meaning not focusing on individual numbers. And McCarthy is suggesting that doing so is part of Micah reaching another level of elite. And that seems, by the way, in the press conference on Thursday, that question was asked. And for a second, my initial reaction to the question is, I don't know, where do you want him to go? But yeah, there's always another level, isn't there? There's always another plateau to strive for. And Micah's going there, and he has that motor, as we have certainly learned. And here's McCarthy and his answer on that next level. He says, impact players not only affect the game with their individual production, but it's also about really being aware of where Parsons is and making the offense aware, the other offense, that creates opportunities for other guys. So that's the next level for Micah Parsons, is to not only put up his own individual numbers, which he surely will still do no matter what role he plays, but to contribute to ways for the team to have bigger and better numbers. And where is Micah Parsons on us? Where is Micah Parsons on all this, philosophically and otherwise? Well, he's maybe one of 8 different places in the Dallas defense. For now, Fish out.